Hello and welcome to Frugal Over 50. I'm Amy and I'm happy to welcome you here today to my channel where we talk about everything related to frugality, minimalism, and intentional living, especially aimed at the needs of the mature woman. And it's time for another Wednesday One Take. On this popular series of videos, I talk about anything that comes into my head and I do it in one take. Fortunately for you, I only talk about the things that come into my head about frugality, minimalism, and intentional living. So otherwise, you might never know what you were going to get. Today, I'd like to talk about the word budget and the expression on a budget. I have been seeing this for so long, and a light bulb just went on in my head the other day. So I was watching a video, as you do. You all know, you're YouTube people, you know how it goes. You watch a video and you go and read the comments. And this happened to be a video where a gentleman was going through stores talking about healthy options for certain kinds of foods. Great, fine, no problem. Now, in the comments, there were several people who said, could you do a similar video for people on a budget? And something just clicked in my head. It's like, on a budget. And I see this all over the place. Could you review products for people on a budget? Or I'm on a budget, therefore I can't afford that. And that word budget and the expression on a budget in this kind of context seems to mean I'm poor. I can't afford that. Tell me what I can do instead. And something just sort of jumped out at me and went, no. Let's change how we think about the word budget and how we talk about the expression on a budget. Now, I know that I am preaching to the choir here on this channel because all 300 plus of you who have subscribed and every single one of you who is watching is nodding, going, yep, I figured that out the first 5 minutes I was on YouTube, or the first time I talked to somebody else out loud about a budget, or whatever. You know what I'm saying. But I want to highlight this partly because it just came to me, and partly because I do think it's worth mentioning out loud that the word budget and the expression being on a budget or on a budget, these are not bad words. These are not signs of poverty. These are not signs of deprivation. These are not signs that things are going terribly wrong. And now we must withhold from ourselves things that would be most healthy or the best choices because I'm on a budget. And that's often what is in the context or in the background of those kinds of statements. I have used it myself. I'm on a budget, therefore I can't do X. I'm on a budget, therefore I can't do Y. And there is built into this way of talking about budgeting, there is a thought that there will come a point when I will have been virtuous enough on my budget that I will be able to let go of the budget and get all of these wonderful things that I would love to have. Or perhaps, poor me, I shall never escape the clutches of my budget. I shall always be imprisoned by my budget, and I will never get to have things that I need or just simple things that I want. And it's all so dramatic. Well, part of that's down to this being YouTube, and we're all dramatic. I mean, look, I'm wearing red lipstick. I never wear red lipstick except for you people. It's all a little dramatic. I get that. But there's a mindset behind that, suggesting that budgets are all about constriction, restriction, and a temporary state of being sort of out of favor with the universe even. It's a really big deal when you think about it. If you look at a budget in any way negatively, then it's going to affect how you treat yourself when you are operating within that budget, and it's going to affect how you view your finances overall. Do you view your budget as your trip to freedom, or do you view it as your jailer? And so many of the comments that I see on YouTube videos about this seem to be from people who view budgeting as a jail. And I can understand that completely, but I'm asking us, those of us who are here right now watching this and talking together, tell me your thoughts in the comments below, by the way. I'm asking us to think of budgeting as a path to freedom. I have a particular image in my mind of standing out at the head of a yacht. I've never been on a yacht. And looking into the wind, that sort of I'm the king of the world feeling, and the breeze blowing in your face and that sort of sense of freedom. Now, I've never experienced that except, watching old movies with Grace Kelly or something like that. But that's the feeling that I get when I look at my budget, is that it's a path to freedom. It's a path to the open seas, to the blue skies, to the gentle breezes, to the lovely scarf wrapped around my neck. Again, my particular goal is not to get on a yacht and stand there having breezes waft at me. I'm talking about the emotional feeling that I get when I think about my budget. And I think that the biggest sort of disconnect that we have, and this is one that I have shared as well, is the sense that perhaps we cannot live as healthfully on a budget as off a budget. Now, there's a little push and pull here, because if I think specifically about my cash envelope system, which I dearly love, and I think about how much money I could spend on grass-fed and organic and all pesticide-free and all that sort of thing, it might seem like the most budget-friendly choice would be less healthy. But we have folks who've commented here below about how you can shop for pesticide-free oatmeal at Whole Foods for cheaper than you can get the pesticide-full stuff at Target. So I'm not convinced that the only way to purchase the food that we consider healthiest for ourselves and for our families is to go outside of the financial guidelines that we have given to ourselves. Do you see what I mean? I think it is possible to marry budgeting and healthy food, for instance. My one-take streak seems to be coming to an end. That's 2 videos in a row I've had to cut for an interruption. This was for an important phone call. So sorry about that. It's still one take, promise. So I'm talking about this idea of being on a budget or having a budget and having that be a path to freedom. And there's a particular application here that we experience on a weekly, if not bi-weekly or even daily basis, which is how do we make healthy food choices within the guidelines of the budgets that we have set for ourselves. And our commenters here on this channel know exactly how to do that. But I still think that the mindset is super, super important, so that if we think my budget is my path to health, then it changes everything completely, because it means that I will be thinking about my budget as part of my overall state of health, as part of my overall solidly stable and joyful lifestyle. And then being on a budget or having a budget is not a state of deprivation, but instead it's a state of freedom. This is my thought for the day for this Wednesday One Take. I wonder about your thoughts. How do you feel about your own budget? What struggles do you have? Do you share the one that I have about wondering, like, can I really buy these particular kinds of foods and still be on a budget? Or do you have that sorted out completely? What was your mindset before you got excited about your budget, if you are excited? And would you like to know more about budgeting? I hope so, because I talk about it quite a bit here. If you like this kind of content, talking about frugality, minimalism, and intentional living, especially aimed at the needs of the mature woman, I hope that you'll give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so you'll be notified first of new videos. Some of you who've been watching for a while will see that my video setup and my lighting and my audio is in a state of flux, and I expect that to stabilize in another week or 2. So thank you so much for sticking with me regardless of where I sit and what the lighting is and what the video quality is and what the audio quality is. You folks have been very loyal, and I appreciate that, and I expect to stabilize it very soon, and then I'll be talking to you about that. So thanks again. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.